Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next case is cause number 332-268. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Howard Lee Land Jr. Mr. Land, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Land, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Land, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Land, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Land?
Oh, fine. I just wanted to get, a decent meal back to eat.
Okay, I understand that.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Mr. Land, you're here represented by your attorney, Jack Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, do you waive a record in Mr. Land's case?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Land, I have before me a document that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about March 20th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Land, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Land, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
How do you
Go
plead?
ahead. Answer.
No contest.
Now, Mr. Land, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Oh, yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Oh, yeah. I'm not contesting the charges, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Land, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. On page 2 of this document, Mr. Land, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere. The initials are HL. Mr. Land, did you place your initials on this document?
Oh, yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Land, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Land, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Land, I also have another document before me. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Land, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of the same document, Mr. Land, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Oh, yes, sir.
And Mr. Land, did you sign?
That's just I'm sorry.
Mr. Land, did you also sign a document out there that is titled, that on paper, that is titled Discovery Certification?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Land, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Oh, yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Land, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir. I have a daughter from Germany. When I spent my time touring Germany, I got married and I have a daughter.
Okay.
That might be why the international stuff, if you got something international on it.
No, I just need to know whether or not you're a citizen or not.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Land, well, state, I have before me state's exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And in the court's file, I have state's exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer state's exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, state offers states 1 and 2.
Any objections, Mr. Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
No objection, states exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Lawrence, you've advised and counseled Mr. Land. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, not at all, Your Honor.
And Mr. Land, your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I explain. I always tell the same truth, and they always recognize me for that. I didn't lie about anything.
Okay, now, Mr. Land, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, we're recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 20 days. We're asking that the court give this defendant credit for the previous 20 days that he spent in jail, which essentially makes this a time served plea agreement. As it relates to the court costs, we're asking that the court use that same jail time to tax and retire any court costs, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Land, the state is offering that you serve 20 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you already served 20 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. Where's the judgment? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
The
Judge.
judgment, the court cost in this case is $327, but you will not have to pay the court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Land, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Land, the court will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Land, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
You're
Judge.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Your Honor.
Okay, and you have a blessed day, Mr. Lawrence, as well. This is your final case. So you're excused and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
We're being recessed.